Preparing live stream in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. This is Tony Kaz with the Podguyz podcast, bringing it to you live every Monday as we do every week.
I like how we got a double camera on Eric right there.
Oh, it's fantastic right now, isn't it?
He's hand modeling. I think that's going to be a part of the show, though. I'm pretty sure. I got a growing suspicion, Tony.
You may have a little suspicion, of course. He looks like he's got the magic rope trick, which is always great. I'm Tony Kaz, by the way.
Kevin Neary.
Of course, we have the ever-loving writer of the big board, Les Sparky, with us, as we do every week.
Sparky.
Ho, 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 2 for $1.
2 for 1. All right.
2 for 1 special.
Pulling a 2 for 1 on us, aren't you, Sparky?
That should have been just ho, ho.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Merry XXXmas.
You really sold it there, Sparky, on the extra ho. Today we are joined on our show by mentalist, PR specialist. Of course, he needs no introduction. Eric Reamer, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey guys, good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. We appreciate your time, sir, as always. All right, that's the end of our show. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the stars below.
Been a great week. Hit the stars. This is all it's been for the whole time.
This is all we got.
Hit the stars, guys.
This is the magic trick.
That's it. We're gonna disappear.
Yeah, it's like going on Facebook and seeing the drive-by money merchants, just roaming around. Or Eric, have you ever seen the I'm posting my apartment online for rent? People where they're like, it's a 1-bedroom, $4,000 a month. Oh, you tenants have to pay utilities, and by the way, we do an extensive credit and criminal check. It's like, whoa, buddy. First of all, you're robbing me right now. All right.
Yeah, you know what we call that here in Denver?
What's that?
Monday.
Yeah, because this is what happened in Denver. They said, hey, everybody, we're tired of arresting people for marijuana because it's stupid. And everybody from California is like, how much is that place to rent? And they said, this place is only $900 to rent. They're just like, all right, cool. I'll give you $14,000 a month. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? What? You don't know how to haggle? Sure, of course we're going to do that. So that's been happening to Nevada. The only thing is that Nevada has a couple things, in common and then not in common with Colorado, right? If you take a wrong turn in Nevada and it doesn't look like Las Vegas, you're like, oh shit, let's go back to California.
Right.
Back to where there's like 5 to 6 lane highway. By the way, you didn't make a highway system correctly if it always gets jammed up. You fucked up somewhere, and someone should. You've had so much time. People have had so much time. Engineers and everybody has had so much time to just relook at that really hard and say, hey, we can figure this out, or just give everybody a fucking helicopter by now. Just teach them how to drive a helicopter. I don't know.
You lost me at teach them how to drive.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, never mind. No, never mind. Just don't even give them cars. Just everybody gets a fucking bicycle and, just work from home, do the school from home. Hey, we're able to do it during COVID. We're able to talk to you and you're in Denver. How is this ever possible in the early 2000s? Weird that we're even talking like that. In the early 2000s, I'll have you know.
In the early days.
Yeah. Not everybody had a cell phone that was also a TV.
And a camera. Don't forget the camera.
The cameras are
true.
The cameras. You know what the cameras have done? The cameras have been able to catch stuff where everybody has been like, "No way! Why the fuck would they do that?" And it's really spurred on. It's made everybody look terrible to their black friends, where they're like, "Why the fuck would they do that to your dad?" I don't know. Well, it sounds like you're a liar. Now they get the camera out there and you're just like, whoa, why the fuck are they doing that? And it's a whole new perspective on things. It kind of puts the foot on the other shoe where the cops are like, I wouldn't have done it if I knew that they were recording. It's like, dude, you just shouldn't do that. The hell's wrong? I wouldn't have robbed the bank. Yeah, I wouldn't have robbed the bank either if I knew I was going to be on camera. But there I was.
Surprise.
Surprise indeed.
Son of a bitches. So, Eric, please tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that you are an illusionist / magician. Where did you get your start?
All right. So when I was 12 years old, man, my brother-in-law married my sister. He had a magic show on cable access TV. That's what they used to call it, back when they used to crank the cameras.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. Was the wedding magical?
No.
Okay.
And neither was the comb over, but we're just going to pass.
Let's not go there.
His, not mine. I was 12. I still had a good crop. But no, he taught me how to do a couple of magic tricks, and before you knew it, I was going to kids' birthday parties making $25. The problem was, by the time I was 14, I was doing different kind of parties and making $2,000 doing some stuff that was a little more shady. And you mentioned California. Yep. Check that off the box. So long story short, I gave it all up, turned my life around, decided to figure life out. And it wasn't until I was 25 years old, I think, that I decided, I was a little younger than that, 21, decided to revisit the whole world of magic. I met one of the top pros in the world, and he took me under his wing and said, man, I will teach you anything you need to know. 5 world tours later, 15 years, I'm quite possibly the most famous magician you've never heard of.
Now, does your mentor have a name?
He does. Dwayne Laughlin was the guy who took me under his wing. Again, it's not a name that you would probably know because he traveled in different circles, but he opened the door for me. I became the editor of a magic magazine that afforded me the opportunity to meet guys like Lance Burton, David Copperfield, Siegfried and Roy, all the whole 9 yards back in the day. And some of them are still killing it.
Well, Eric, those are the only names that are like really in household. People have heard of Houdini, right? And he's been dead for how long? It's like hearing Babe Ruth in baseball. Like, come on, man. There has been like 80,000 other players besides him in the game. Then you got Penn and Teller. Yeah. And normally when you have a duo like that, you got your Laurels and Hardys. They didn't do any magic, but no, a duo is always nice to play off of, sort of things. They had a little niche going on there.
So great stuff with that.
Yeah, Siegfried and Roy, and I don't know how many gay jokes were made about them in the 90s, where it's just like, I wonder what they do to the tiger. It's like, no, you don't. And then that transformed.
The Tigers did that to him.
Well, it's almost like they took Siegfried and Roy and they're like, what if we kept the gay and took away the magic? And Netflix is like, Tiger King. There you go. And we add Trailer Park Boys and Siegfried and Roy.
I like how you tied that all together. But yes, you're not wrong.
It's a marketing gimmick, so it is all on how you market yourself, or how agencies try to market you, or if you have marketability, because some people are the most talented painters you'll never see, because Banksy, you can't see him. And I think he was on to something there. He's like, I'm anti-corporate America. Here's $1 million for your painting. Yes, I still hate corporate America. Oh boy, down with it's like, dude, yeah, he's a millionaire.
And by the way, that painting that you just paid $1 million for just went up in flames.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's a part of the fun. That's where it's
flash paper.
Yeah, there are certain aspects of people that live in a different world, and when you're doing the entertainment business, if you've ever seen one person know that they're better and they got to be ruthless about it, right? You could always look at the older Jay Leno going on to the David Letterman show, right? Now Leno, as much as people are more nostalgic about David Letterman, but I tell you what, the man only told 3 jokes in his life. Everything else was all like, hey, sort of thing. But Leno had such a great ability to write jokes alongside, even with his wife and other people, and deliver the jokes, and where he literally made a fuck you show in front of Conan just out of competitive spirit alone, called the Jay Leno Show. And just of him sitting around a room being like, oh yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, that's kind of funny. We're gonna hit an 8-minute commercial up and see if everybody didn't already pass out by now. Conan, take it away. He's like, you know what you're doing, man. You know what you're doing. But getting back to the marketability of Magic, you said you did 5 world tours, Eric. 5?
I did, and it's funny you mentioned Jay Leno because I have a little bit of trivia that goes along with me. I am the guy that turned down an opportunity to perform on the Tonight Show.
Wow!
Literally,
what is wrong with you?
I know, right? I was hanging out with a buddy. We'd gone golfing that day. We were hanging out in a hot tub, hanging out, looking over the city of Glendale, and he gets a phone call. Takes the call, says, hold on for a second, turns to me and says, it's Leno's producer. He says, they just had a cancellation. They want to know, can you fill 5 minutes? Or they're looking for somebody to fill 5 minutes. Can you do it?
Was it for TV time or was it before a pre-show?
100% TV time, 5 minutes.
Nice. Oh, wow. Oh God.
And so he looks at me and goes, can you do it? They're filming tomorrow at noon. I was literally getting out of the hot tub and going to travel to Boise, Idaho, where I'd been booked for 4 years in advance. I couldn't say no. So I literally looked at him and I said, dude, I know what you're offering me. I got to be in Boise. I promised these guys 4 years ago that I would be there. They've been hyping it all up. I'm getting in my car and going. And he looks at me and he goes, hold on. He says, it's Leno. And I said, no, I know. He goes, I'll call you back. Hangs it up. That was a clamshell. Hangs it up, looks at me as if I'd grown a third eye. And I said, I know what I'm turning down, man. But in my world, integrity trumps opportunity.
Yeah.
And,
Eric, you couldn't find a lookalike to go to the show for you?
Look at me. Nobody wants to.
Eric, we are in a land of magic.
Oh, good. I mean, how good? Yeah, how good was it? You couldn't. This is why the masked magicians get to double book themselves.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Eric's like, don't do that. You know what happens.
Wait, are we not talking about the masked magician today?
No, it's all good, man. I'm pre-disastered.
No, the masked magician was just like he was like, I'm going to ruin everyone's money.
Yeah,
in one TV show.
He did his best.
For like 10 seasons too.
Made a couple of bucks and is on Netflix and YouTube forever. But we're okay.
Yeah, I guess the only 2 magicians nowadays that are marketable is because you got that Angel kid, right? Chris Angel.
No, and Chris Angel's kind of done now.
Did David I blow your mind? Well, who is the new
David
guy?
Blaine is more marketable.
Well, David Blaine has already been there. David Blaine came up, and then Chris Angel attracted the girls that are probably a little loose between the legs and really like tattoos and punk rock and all that nice stuff. So they're like, "Oh shit, money! We haven't gotten that yet." And they'll push you in that direction to a degree. Now, some people. Now, Eric, I guarantee you've been given advice by people, right? And when I say that, I can't stress the word advice as much as possible, but they probably stress this idea on you. Now, tell me if you've heard this one before. Why don't you go on America's Got Talent, Eric? You know, I saw a dog show on there the one time, made the guy famous, probably made him $1 million.
Made him a millionaire.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I've heard that a number of times. And my only answer to that is A, I don't have any interest in going on that. And B, I train the guys that do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then I thought your answer was going to be like, I normally say I'll supersize my Big Mac. And because normally the people that are giving out this golden advice, man, work at the Golden Arches. And you're just like, what are you doing? Who are you to give me advice? Like, I didn't think of that idea. You know? Right. So the thing with America's Got Talent, just for an information basis, just if anybody's watching the show and has an inch or a foot or any weight full of talent about them, you got to use their photographers one by one onto the next round. You got to sign off on percentages of royalties to be used throughout DVDs. There's a lot of X's and O's, and a lot of people that have the talent to already carry themselves don't feel comfortable giving up that form of exploitation, even though it's
Crazy
national
amount
TV.
of money as well.
Yeah, there's a lot
Crazy.
of money at stake, but then there's a lot of money at your own stake.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. And the fact of the matter is, once you go, you sell out entirely, and it's their show, not yours. You do get some recognition. There's no doubt about that. And if you make it to advance to some of the deeper rounds, it can really make your career. But when those guys get done, even if they don't win the big game, when they get done, man, that show owns you and the next several years of your touring with their show.
Yeah, especially if you tack that on to "you might know me from." That doesn't count as your accreditation as it does like with a different club that you could have done. That counts as they're always there, Lumen.
I never wanted to be famous. All I wanted to do was make a difference, and I think I would do okay. I'll show you some stuff later here, and we'll see what your idea is.
All in due time.
Right.
All in due time.
All in due time.
Of course, we want to go down the reamer road. And right. We want to see what happened, of course, from your very beginning to the middle, towards the end, where you are now. Yeah. And I know you do own a PR firm as well called PR Media.
That's true. Yep.
And of course, public relations is your main forte right now.
Yeah, so I make my living, if you will, today by choice. I own 3 companies, but I make my living with a PR Media Coach, which is the subdivision of niche PR and media that I started 4 or 5 years ago now. I had a radio show and a television show that went nationally syndicated for 10 years, and then decided to pick up the PR thing. And basically, in a nutshell, what I do is I make people famous, man. If they have an existing business that is working well, I just take that, strap a saddle on it, and bring the right people in the front door. I got back into the game of magic after 18 years of not doing that about 4 years ago. And today I'm doing as much magic as I want, but I don't have to go 25 days out of every month hauling a 6-ton show in and out every single day at a different. So
now, how do you go about the ways of like getting assistance, finding crew, and of course crew to help you out? And did you do just illusions? Did you do small time magic? Did you do like mostly card mentalism?
Yeah, it's a great question. When I started into the standard stage, small stage venues, but that quickly translated with my mentor, translated into touring with probably the second largest touring stage illusion show in the Western US for a period of time.
Wow.
And there was a guy named David Copperfield who he was big.
Little name. Yeah. Little guy.
But we did, toured all over the world with this big, massive show. And then, like I said, I took 18 years off. And when I decided to come back to it about 4 or 5 years ago, I have always, in fact, I wrote a book back in 1992 about mentalism, and mentalism is basically, when you think of magic, you think of magic for the eyes, right? That's that rope trick that you were talking about there. Mm-hmm. And at any point, you just want to cut that thing in half and make it look like it's actually cut in half, and then be able to pull the rope out. That's magic. Mentalism is magic for the eyes or magic for the mind, right? And that has always been a passion of mine. So I decided to crank that up and see if I still got it. I sold out 8 shows just like that. And here we are.
And that is a thing, by the way. That is like especially when you are, may I say, multi-talented throughout, like you get one check mark, another check mark, and then you go back to that first area to see like, you know what? Let's see if we can still do that stage. Let's see if we can still do that facet in that area.
And you guys are all young. Some of us are getting a little older, and you're not guaranteed that that's going to work the way that it used to.
I tell you what, I do stand-up comedy, so it's a little different too, because I took one tablet before, right? One full tablet of jokes, and realized because of time, they're all obsolete, right?
Yeah.
I did a set before. I had a newspaper. Now I hold something. They're like, "What is he holding?" It's like, "This is a newspaper." I got to give a fucking history lesson on newspapers. And they're like, "Well, why wouldn't you just use your phone?" It's like, you don't understand people, And
I used to do a show, a trick to end my show, standing ovation every night, 5 years in a row, where light bulbs, different colored light bulbs, would switch places, and their switch plates would switch places, but they'd always light up properly until they didn't, and then they would again. And I called it electrical chaos. And I'm not kidding. It was magic, man. It was amazing, because we know how electricity works. Today, I still own the prop, but I can't do the trick, because if I were to pull out those light bulbs and switch the lights on and off or whatever, some guy pulls out his phone and goes, "Hold on for a second. I just opened my garage from 30 miles away."
Yeah.
You want to see magic?
That's really why I love the art of mentalism, because if I can crawl up into your mind, sweep out the cobwebs, and take up residence, I can make you actually think, what the hell just happened? And it's very difficult to backtrack.
So there was a movie I saw the one time, and I forget the name of it offhand, but that's the only time I've ever heard the word mentalist. Okay, because Tony says we had the mentalist on, Eric Reamer. This was a couple days ago, and then even today, he's like, just a reminder, Eric Reamer, the mentalist, is coming on. I said, why did he call himself a mentalist? Right? He's like, well, he's done magic work, and I said, wait a second, this is the guy that also did radio as well, right? He says, yeah, he's done radio as well, and like in voiceover work, I'm guaranteed, because you do radio, voiceover work, acting, you can do comedy, you can check a lot of different boxes off, right? So basically, it's like you're fucking banging your head off a wall, but you're like, yeah, look at that, man, a goddamn hole in the wall over there, until there is no more wall. Eric, basically, when you probably, I'm guessing, you got so bored one day, you're just like, I'm just going to read everybody's mind. Is that what it is? Is that what mentalism is? Where you're just like, I'm just like, did you just get juggling cats and you're like, throw me a tiger one day or something? What got you into the idea, basically, of what got you excited about mentalism?
I'll tell you what gets me excited about mentalism is it's the dark ages, man. You don't have to have technology. We're using technology, but what I'm about to do with you, Kev, right here, is very near to what would happen right here if you were sitting in the room with me. Let's try this. So you bring it up. We'll talk about it. Do you know the difference between mind reading and influence?
To a degree, because you can always influence a thought prior to, and then pick it up from that point.
It's true. So let me break it down for you. Mind reading is let's start with influence. Influence is leveraging the power of suggestion, right? If you and I are driving on a road and we come to an intersection, and I sit there and I say, "Hey, Kev, I got an idea. I think it's going to be better if we make a right turn," and you follow that suggestion, and that's a plausible situation. If I can do it once, I could do it twice. If I could do it twice, I can do it as many times as I want. And if I can influence you to a completely different destination than you never thought we'd get to.
My best example for an influential, and people might be able to get this because you're explaining it perfectly, okay? But let's explain it for Facebook terminology, okay?
Yes, sir.
So when
we're not dumbing it down, Kevin.
we're gonna dumb it down. No, Eric's got this down perfectly, but I want to make it even more simpler. All right. So when Donald Trump is making a speech, right, and he is trying to influence to see which area you hate. Now, let's start with the country of Mexico, right?
Fantastic
If he even
country, by the way, fantastic.
remember Tony, the first speech was half of Mexicans that are coming over, they're sending them over. Okay, so now pause. By the way, pause it right there. First of all, he said half of Mexicans, and so you think half of all Mexico right off the bat. You're like, holy shit.
What a
Holy
country.
shit.
It's a fantastic country, big country.
Holy shit. We just got half of Mexico, maybe more. What the hell? Rapists? You're like, okay, come on now. You can step back a little bit. They're sending them. Who's sending them? Gangs. Oh, okay. So you have just one example of somebody who literally influenced his way into the idea that he could be a president because he was shown on The Apprentice. He was shown failing, but still succeeding. So Donald Trump would be the idea of an influential speaker. Remember that it started off at 50%, but once he realized that he could make that speech garner support, and then he went up to 80% of all Mexicans that they're sending us, by the way, in droves, taking everything. They're coming in. They're just taking it. They don't
5% increments.
You might get a por favor every now and then. Not all the time though. Not all the time. They'll use the little fucking hand gestures. I'm thinking to myself, I know what you're doing. You vacuum cleaner a salesman of a person. Holy shit.
Kevin, do you feel better about yourself now?
I feel like I'm kind of explaining it okay. Eric, you could stop me if I'm not. And then he made the fish get a little bit bigger with the 80. Probably, you know what? The number is probably 90% as if I have to make the speech over here. Hey, buddy, over here. Oh shit, I forgot the mic was live. Just as if he's telling you a secret in the loudest way possible. As in, is that so? Influence is like another word for not really lying, but suggesting that you should think a certain way, even if it's not the best way to think.
He's a persuader.
I don't know that I would have gone all that direction to get to where you got, but I get what you're saying. Mind reading is bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I can't read minds. Let's give you an example. Kev, if in the space of mind reading, if I were to ask you to come up with a word, any word in the English language, okay, and I think there's a few.
Sure.
If I were to say to do that, when I said 3, 2, 1, go, and let's do it. What would you come up with? 3, 2, 1, go.
Got it. Yep.
What word?
Oh, what word? Monasha.
Say it again.
Monasha.
What is that?
Oh, it's my favorite word in Cebuano. That's it.
No. It needs to be in the English dictionary, man.
Oh my God! All right,
we're going to go back to the word English.
Okay, all right. You never specified.
He did. He said English dictionary.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So the first word I'll pick is offense.
Oh, I was going to say blue. As you can see, it's complicated. There's a lot of words, and
so many words.
Yeah. So leave that. And then I said blue. You said
fence. Yeah.
Fence. Right. That is damn near impossible to pick somebody's mind. And again, we're going through the internet, so you got to go through all the networks and the nodes and all the VPNs and all that crap. But influence looks like this. Let's go with Tony. You've got some things there, right? Things that you carry with you every day. Yeah, I've got some business cards. By the way, let me do it this way here. I'll show you. You know, it's my business card because it's got my name on it. It's got there it is, a picture of my thumb.
Yeah. Right? Look at that.
And
you couldn't even tell the difference between the thumb and the picture.
Right there it says Podguyz. So I know these are.
Yeah.
So we're going to use these to see if I can't predict the future. And before you even hold those things up that you've got, I'm just going to write something down that I think might happen in the future. Okay. And by the way, there's another screen down here. That's where I'm going to write it, and I'm going to leave it right here. So, Tony, we did not set this up. Is that correct?
Correct.
Nice.
The people already know that are watching this and even listening on Spotify or wherever your listening purposes may be. We are not a very organized enough to set stuff up like this.
That's true.
Like we tried doing the bank heist, but it was on Martin Luther King Day, and it was just like, shit, you mean they're closed?
All right, so I've got it right here. I've written it. I'm not going to change anything. Now, Tony, this is your opportunity to shine here. Hold up whatever items you've got in your possession.
I do have keys.
Yeah. What else?
Keys, and I have a wallet. I have my wallet.
Anything else?
And I have a pen.
Perfect. All right. So hold all three of those up, if you will, please. And keys, wallet, and a pen. I suggested that you grab some things, but I didn't specify which ones you had to grab, right?
You didn't specify anything. Yep.
All right. Do me a favor, if you will, please. Just drop one of those items. It doesn't matter which one. Okay, so you drop the pen. Yeah. Okay, so you get your wallet and you get your keys. Virtually, if you could, just reach out and hand me. I'm trying to get my camera there. Hand me one of those items. It doesn't matter which one. The keys. All right, good. So you can get rid of the wallet and hold up the keys so that everybody can see that was what you handed me, because obviously we're miles away. We can't actually do it. Yeah. You're left holding the keys, or I would be holding the keys if we were together. Hold those up so everybody can see the camera, if you will. There they are. I wrote something down before we ever started this whole thing. And was it your choice to drop what you dropped?
Yes.
Was it your choice to hand me the keys?
It was.
That's where you're wrong. You see, here's the thing. I actually influenced the whole deal. I told you to grab everyday carry things. I told you to drop one of them. I told you to hand me one of them, and I didn't specify where we were going or what we were going to do. But I wrote down before we ever started that I knew that you would hand me the keys. All right? That's influence. And it's not all that, that's not all that remarkable if you think about it. However, what is remarkable, and you might find interesting, I don't know, I find interesting, is right off camera here, and I'm just going to bring it into view here. I have my wallet. You had a wallet. I had a wallet.
Yeah, same color too.
I'm going to open the wallet.
Yeah.
Show you that I have a snapped area in that wallet. I have my license. I'm going to go ahead and cover that up so that we don't see what's going on. But I'm going to break out the wallet here. I'm going to try to keep this in frame for everybody. Kind of tight. In my wallet, I've got my license. Underneath my license, I've got a business card.
Nice.
On that business card, I actually wrote something this morning.
Ooh.
I wrote it with a different pen. I wrote a word.
Okay.
One word in the English language. Kev, what word did you say?
I said the word fence.
Weird.
Whoa.
Right?
Yeah.
That is very weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
There we go. There we go. I do that because it does that. It gets that what just happened here?
What did just happen there? Yeah.
I just got mind raped.
That's Chris Angel's word.
That's true. That's true.
You can't do too much. They'll try Harvey Weinstein you, which involves just your.
I'm not his type.
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Tony about that earlier, and we'll get into that later. It's
that's another time, another podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's not only a conversation starter, but it actually leads into if you're going to do any kind of educational messaging around that, we can talk about, I ask people all the time, is it possible to predict the future with 100% accuracy 100% of the time? What do you think?
I would say absolutely, yeah.
Well, let's say I got 50-50. I got Tony shaking his head going, nope, that's not possible. And you're a believer. I love that. Should we make Tony a believer?
Well, the only reason I'm a believer is because I know that whether you're alive or dead, time will go on. It's infinite.
But persuasion will push you a certain way.
So the one thing you can guarantee, you can always be right about, and you can always predict and say correctly, is you could say, well, it will go forward.
Yeah. I've read a statistic in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago. I think it said 1 out of every 1 dies. So I mean,
that's in the long run we're all dead. So that's just but no, that's just the more of a science than a fairy tale sort of thing that I'm not taking as a belief. It's just a inevitability of moving forward sort of thing.
It's absolutely true. And as we move forward, Tony, here's one for you. I want you to think of a card, any card in the deck of cards, right? Do you know what I mean when I say a deck of cards?
I do. Yeah. Yep.
So there's ace through king and 4 different suits, clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. I want you to think of a card and lock it into your mind. Have you got it?
I'm ready.
Again, let me just ask, is there any chance, did we set this up? Did I tell you what was going to happen?
Nothing even close.
All right. Do me a favor. Change the card now in your mind. Just change your mind.
Okay.
Change it one more time.
Okay.
All right, good. Lock it down. Now, here's the thing. Most guys, when they ask them to think of a card, they will think of the ace of spades. It's the most powerful card in the deck. A lot of people, if you're a woman, would think the queen of hearts. And either of those cards are one of the 52. You're allowed to think of those. But I want you to change your mind so that you can kind of get off the beaten path and think of something completely random, completely new. You've got it locked in. And here's the truth. In frame right there is a deck of cards. It's actually beyond my reach. I can't get to it yet. I will come off my stool here in a moment to go get it. But that's been in frame the whole time. Let me tell you the God's honest truth about that deck of cards back there. This morning, as I prepared for this podcast with you guys, I literally turned over one card.
One card.
Oh. I did that thinking just maybe we'd get to this part of the program and I give you the opportunity to think of a card, change your mind, change it again. And now you are locked in and committed. I can't change the card that I've reversed. I will bring it into frame and I will not move anything. I won't change it. I swear to you, no sleight of hand, no misdirection. What you see is what you get. But you can change your mind, and I don't want that. So for everybody watching or listening, what card are you thinking of?
The 6 of clubs.
6 of clubs. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's very little here. I'm going to reach over and simply grab the deck of cards. Just like this for you. You said the 6 of clubs, yes?
I did.
One chance. Do you want to change your mind?
Nope, I'm good.
I don't think so. Interestingly enough, as I sort through the cards, we're looking for the card with the back facing you or the 6 of clubs, either one. And let me tell you something. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and cut the cards. I'll cut the cards anywhere, right? And if I do this well enough, as I sort through this, as you see the 6 of clubs or the card with the back facing you, let me know. Do you see one?
No.
Right
Tony,
next
with
to
the back
back
face,
diamonds,
yeah.
Tony.
Yeah,
there?
it's right there, Tony.
Oh, yeah. I thought
the
you said,
back,
do you see the
That's
card?
all right.
Yeah.
Either way, the trick's over.
Yeah.
But would it be a good trick? Would it be pretty amazing? Would it be, wow, if the card that I had reversed before we ever started was in fact the 6 of clubs?
It would have been.
He's a goddamn wizard.
You know, people say that, and I don't know if I can claim any responsibility for it, but I can tell you, it's
He's a witch, burn him.
It's a good trick, right? I mean, it's
a great trick.
Something we have fun with, and we get to go down the road of, you know, I train a lot of companies today. I'm a corporate trainer, if you will, and I sit there and I say, is it possible to predict the future with 100% accuracy 100% of the time? And the answer is yes. Maybe not in the context that I can read your mind or predict your future. That's ridiculous. That's just a good trick. But I can tell you, if you do the things that I teach you, and you can see predictable results out of that, it's pretty much the same thing.
That's true. That's why you are a damn good PR specialist, sir.
Damn good.
You know how to spin it.
It's all about the master of illusion.
Well, I mean, to be really good in PR, you have to. It says a lot. There's a lot to be said about experience. Like, you got these up and coming kids that say that they can do this, they can do that, and you know what? You might have 5%, if not, that can actually do it because they're also well connected, because their parents have been in the industry. It's a and I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to lessen their skill set because of that, but because that's never really the case.
Yeah.
But it is about who you do know, and it doesn't hurt to know people. If you're a mechanic and you know another mechanic and you know a person that builds cars or whatever, it's already there. It's already information that you're being brought into.
I agree with that 100%. Take a look at what it says on my card. It's not what you know, it's who knows you.
It's exactly, yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah,
I have to ask you a personal question, Eric. Not necessarily a personal question, but personal preference.
Yeah.
Now, I know people who are in the magic industry, of course, know a lot of what's going on, a lot of misdirection, a lot of, double takes, a lot of sleight of hand. Is there anybody in particular that you have been wowed by in the magic industry that you were just like, he's a freaking wizard?
Yeah. So when you become a pro, you give up the sense of wonder, right? Because you learn the mechanics behind.
There's always something. There's always a trick, a ploy, a quick move, something.
So when you talk about the mechanics of it, there's only about 8 different actual effects. You can animate something that's inanimate. You can that would be like a card moving across the table or floating in the air or whatever. You can predict the future. You can make something vanish and reappear. That kind of stuff. You can tear it up and restore it. There's only a certain number of effects. There are many different ways to achieve those effects. And, guys like me have literal libraries of magic resource of the people throughout history that have written about their methodologies. So you give up a lot of the sense of wonder. But to answer your question directly, yes, there are people who still fool me. There's a couple of them that I could reference. One guy right now who is at the very top of his game, actually 2 guys, and they're very closely connected. Darren Brown in England, you'll find his shows on Netflix, and he's got a great channel on YouTube. Darren Brown is a guy who started off as a magician, just as I did, and moved into the world of mentalism, and he is kicking ass. And some of the stuff that he does still fools me because I don't know the methodology behind it. The American equivalent to him, perhaps, is a guy named Banachek. Banachek has been a consultant on Darren Brown's shows and on many of the other magicians. He's worked for Chris Angel and Copperfield before. He's got his own show in Vegas today. And Banachek is the only person in history who convinced psychic paranormal investigators that his powers were real.
Just wondered why that's not. Was that I have to ask, was that the guy that was claiming he could bend the spoons?
No, that's Uri Geller.
Geller, yeah.
He's an Israeli.
You're like this and be like, fruit.
Yeah, Banachek can bend the spoons and make you believe too. In fact, he did for the psychic investigators. They put him in a locked room and kept him under surveillance for weeks. And over and over and over again, he demonstrated nothing more than magic tricks.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say that they walked into the room and they're like, he hung himself. Well, this will never happen again.
There's his
Holy
ghost.
shit.
No, but
He's David Carradine.
they signed off on him and said this stuff is real. That ESP and telekinesis and psychokinesis and all these other things are real. And he's written extensively about it. Banachek, check him out. So those two are probably the ones that have influenced me the most when it comes to the world of mentalism. There are a number of others. There's a guy who fooled Penn and Teller with nothing more than a 50-cent piece, Wes Isley.
Wes Isley is fantastic. Between him and Shin Lim,
yeah,
I love that guy. Love him.
Wes is a good friend, and he literally took nothing more than an actual 50-cent piece, no gimmick, none of it, and fooled the socks off of Penn and Teller to the point where immediately
won the gold trophy.
He not just won the trophy, they bought the rights to do the show, to do that trick in their show, and they do it to this day.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you got Penn and Teller. They've been like literally living in Vegas, is for years. It's like the only people that they could be friends with would be Carrot Top, because what else?
And Piff the Magic Dragon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Piff was on America's Got Talent as well, right?
He was on America's Got Talent a couple times, and he's done all the major shows. He's a hoot. Yeah,
and he's a fine magician as well.
He really is. But he's his shtick is so damn funny that if you want to go for comedy, you're going to get your fill. If you want to go for magic, you're going to get your fill. And it's the whole Vegas scene. So
I forget the guy's name, but he had the trick where he would pull a bowling ball out of a suitcase or like a briefcase. He always wore a bandana. I forget his name, but
the Amazing Jonathan.
Yeah, there you go. The Amazing Jonathan,
away, of course.
He actually taught most of his
anymore, though, Kevin.
Yeah.
Why is that?
He died.
Well, well, maybe that's the long con. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe he faked his own death.
Maybe
it wouldn't be the first. They wrote a whole book about a guy that faked his own death. And people staunchly believe that for the longest time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You guys got time for one more?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. And Sparky, should we do one with you since you're the magic historian? Let's do something for you, man.
Sparky, you're going to have to clear off the big board.
All right.
Look at that. Look at that. It's clear.
I'm going to draw your attention down here to this area here. And we'll use your board in just a minute, but I want to make sure that you can see my hands. I'm going to try to keep this in frame and not let the cards leave. If you were here, Sparky, I would let you do the shuffling, but since you're not, I'll go ahead and take care of it. I just want you to know that there's no specific order to the cards. I'm just going to take about a third of them off. I'll shuffle these guys. I'll take another half of that. And that leaves us with a few more. Everybody good? Can you still see that?
Beautiful.
Yep, we got three three sets in there. Yeah.
I'll put them back together again. And Sparky, here's what I'll do. I want you to think of a number between let's go between 10 and 20. Can you think of a number between 10 and 20? Call it out whenever you got it. He's ready. Writing. It's 12. All right. Sparky, I know you're writing. Do you want to change your mind? Are you happy with 12? Happy. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to simply just deal down 12 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 cards, just like that. Yeah. And 12, the number 12 is made up of 2 digits. Those digits are 1 and a 2. For kicks and giggles, let's go ahead and just deal down 3 cards. 1 plus 2 is 3. So there we go. We got 3 piles based on your number. If you'd have chosen a different number, we'd have different numbers in the piles. Yes? All right. Here's what I'm going to have you do. And I'm going to take these top 2 cards off, And this is where I'm going to ask you to trust me. I promise you, I will not use any sleight of hand, and I will not cheat. There are no monitors this direction, and this camera is shooting the hands. I'm going to show you these two cards. I'm looking away, I promise. Are those in frame? I can't tell.
Yes.
You're good. I can see them.
Okay, don't tell me what they are, but tell me, are they the same card? I mean, are the values the same, or are they different?
Different.
Perfect. Whatever card is lower, let's use that to create. We're going to use both of these cards to create a different card. So as random as it could possibly get. I shuffled, we've mixed, and now you gave me the number. So whatever card you're thinking, or whatever card is lowest, let's use that as the value. For instance, if you're thinking of a 2, I want that to be the value of a new card. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Okay. Excuse me. So whatever the higher card is, let that be the suit of the card. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. So if, again, in my example, if it were a 2 and a 9 of hearts, you would be thinking of a 2 of hearts now. Got it?
Got it.
Excuse me. I'm simply going to take these cards and put them back in the middle of the pile. You have a new card in your mind, yes?
Yes.
Write that down.
Taken care of.
Got it? Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. I've been on Zoom for several hours now. All right.
All sorts of magic.
Right. So, and let's just be very clear with this whole thing. I mean, these cards, those were your choices. We dealt them down. I just put this back here. If we'd have chosen these two cards, it would have been different. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, it would have been different. Yeah.
Different value. Yeah. If we'd have chosen these two cards, it would have been a different value.
Yep.
Right. Okay. But you chose the number 12, and you're now thinking of a card just in your mind, right? You just you got it in your mind. You've written it down. Just out of curiosity, what card are you just thinking of? Go ahead and show it. You can show it. I'm not going to change anything. Is that 7 of diamonds?
7 of diamonds.
Okay, weird. Remember that?
Ooh, oh, the hangy thing.
Just gonna reach over here. I'm just gonna bring this into view. And Sparky, did we set this up?
No.
No, of course not. There's no way we could have. You chose the numbers. You chose the values. I shuffled the cards, but you could have. I wrote. You will think
you're a goddamn wizard. Ah!
Diamonds. Right? But this is where it gets weird. I mean, if this isn't weird enough, this is where it gets really weird. Sparky, what number did you call out? What was your number?
12. The original number 12.
Take a look over here. Wait, check this out. I'm just going to move them into frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are you nervous? 11. This is the 12th card. This card right here. Get in frame. Come on, Tony.
Oh my God.
Damn it. What the? He's a goddamn wizard.
We're living in a simulation. It's official. And Eric has broken some.
God dang it.
Eric has broken some codes. Eric has broken some codes in the simulation. If I see the men in black in the background, try to grab them up. It's because Neo has retired in the Valley of Denver.
What I am the
oracle. I'm
The Oracle, yeah. Great
That
movie.
is a great
That is
trick, sir.
amazing
Great
trick.
Thank you,
Now
thank
that
you.
would not be counted. Would that be counted as a mentalist thing, magician thing, or a blend of them both?
It is a blend.
A little bit of a blend, yeah.
That is crazy. I love it. Ah,
We have fun, man. I mean, that's
I am mind raped.
and you know what? You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's all right. There's some cum coming out of there. It's all right.
Yeah, I love that. A little drizzle.
Wow. I got sorry with this. It's not out.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, no. I'm shutting the rest of my escalation up right now. I'm like, all right. It's just gonna go down a terrible road.
Did you ever see the YouTube video? It's a funny recreation of David Blaine, and it's like a not a David Blaine character, but it's a guy who plays David. And he goes, "You now have orange juice in your mouth." And he goes,
Guys,
"No,
leave me alone. Leave me alone."
You're like, I have a job to go to. Excuse me, do you have a second? Yeah, I don't. I really don't, buddy. No. Just a second. You don't have a car now. I need my car. I need to go to my job. What's wrong with this guy?
One of my favorite videos of all time. Is fantastic.
File that under the things that you wish that you kind of thought of before they did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a funny parody to do. Yeah, David Blaine is easy pickings when it comes down to it. Like, you want to watch a magician, but you want him to be. You want a person that's at a magic show wants the magician to look a certain way,
Sure.
and it's, like if you came down and you had a flannel shirt on, you said, "Hey, anybody want to see a card trick?" They're like, "Eric, whatever, pal, have some fun with that card trick. Show the kids, they'll be amazed." Right.
Yeah.
So, but if you came up and you had a fucking black charcoal beard, eyeliner on, fucking weird hat on, and said, "Does anybody want to see a card trick?" A fucking crowd had gathered around. So there is an image in your head.
By the way,
Here it is.
Yeah. Here's a live child. Why would you keep that in your mouth?
I got two more things before you leave, Eric.
Hit me.
Number one, do you think that sideshow barkers have become the new magicians?
Oh, that's a great question. And you know what I would say? I would say that I would rephrase it. I think that some magicians have become the new sideshow barkers.
Yeah. And it's only because of certain things that are now called magic that weren't always magic. It was always mysticism, or it was mentalism. Yeah. It was always something else different besides where it is right now in magic.
Back in the day, you would get these gypsies who would run through towns, and we're going way back here, but they're still around, and they do things like tarot readings and predictions of whatever your past, present, and future. Gosh, I have another trick that I could have done for you. But yeah, in that case, you got people who sit there and say, I can tell you your past, your present, and your future. And I have an ethical and moral issue with that. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you the things that I do are engineered for your entertainment, but they're absolutely not real. But yeah, I think that a lot of times the line gets blurred, and it really hit hard in the days of Houdini, who grew up in the Victorian era, right? I think he was born in 1848 and died in 1926. I might have the birth date right.
That's right around there.
Yeah, he definitely died in 1926. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And,
it kind of sounds like he'd be fighting in the Civil War then.
And not even that, but it was supposedly by the most dangerous of all of his tricks, the water torture chamber.
Well, the water torture chamber, that's Tony Curtis, man, and that's TV. The water torture chamber was not the most dangerous of his tricks. The trick that I actually did a show.
Stopping the bullet was his most dangerous trick.
That one was dangerous and has killed several along the way. Yeah. The one that really flew under the radar, and he never had a problem with it, but he did one called Buried Alive. And in a show that I performed this last Halloween, I featured two magicians, Harry Houdini and a guy named Joe Burris. You can look both of them up. In fact, Joe Burris is on one of those Magic Went Wrong Netflix videos. He tried to do the same illusion, buried alive. In fact, he did it
in a glass coffin, or
did it in the glass coffin. But it started off, did it the regular way and succeeded. Then he was given a national television opportunity. And so with the cameras rolling in, I want to say 1998, Joe Burris decided if Houdini did it with a wood box and with dirt, I could do it better. For TV, I'll do it with a
glass box and concrete.
And didn't account for this tons of difference in the weight. And we all watched Joe Burris die on national TV.
Yeah, it crushed the box, right?
It crushed the box, crushed him.
Wow.
There was no getting out of that one.
Oh man.
I mean, it's very sad. But you don't, as like, are they going to interrupt? Like, how long did they have before they could have saved him? And did they think if they were saving him, were they going to like interrupt?
They did their very best. I mean, so they literally watched as they were pouring the concrete in.
It just laid on top of him.
Oh, Jesus. That's going to be instantaneous. Yeah.
They went through the motions of trying to dig out, but Joe Burris was a pancake. There was nothing left.
The thing that I was thinking, like they see the situation, they're like, but wait, it still might not be over yet.
Houdini took hours, like 4 or 5 hours, to go from the casket 6 feet under to his hand reaching out through the surface of the ground. And you never know. I mean, I don't know how long you wait if you're one of the crew.
Yeah. It's kind of like I guess boxing. When do you throw in the towel? When do you know, like, your guy, he ain't all there? Right. And when it came down to Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, right? And you can always tell the greats. They always start off with a regular name, then it turns out to be Muslim name. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali. It's just something happens there. I'm sorry.
Now, Eric, in no way did I ever persuade you to go down this road. Road, as far as the, of course, talking about these particular magicians and what has happened. Correct?
Yep.
Is there a trick in your repertoire, or not even in your repertoire, but that you have seen that you will not try because it is that dangerous?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are many that I would not do and
if so, can you do it today, right on our show?
Dun.
There is such a thing known as perceived danger, and then there's real danger.
Of course.
And why is the magician / entertainer / anybody who has a brain cell who realizes that I can make you feel the danger without ever putting myself at risk. David Copperfield was the master of this. The saw that cuts David Copperfield in half, that's an honest to God, real bona fide saw.
Yeah.
And that can do bad things in a big way. So the audience is on the edge of their seat. When he's hanging upside down from a rope in Vegas, 20 stories up, he's really up there. That's real.
Yeah.
But if you for a moment thought that when one of those ropes burned through and he went swinging and everybody thought he was going to fall, if you for a moment thought David Copperfield, the multi-bazillion-dollar man,
was ever in danger,
come on. No, that never took place. Perceived danger is where I would go. I don't do anything. I did a routine where I had to try to escape before spikes fell down, and I was obviously having difficulty getting out of the bag that I was in. And so they finally just...
How's your lockpick skills, by the way?
It's really good. 10 seconds before that, those spikes fell, they grabbed the rope and wouldn't allow it to fall. And then when they undid the ropes on the bag and pulled the bag down, it was my ex-wife in the bag, and I was in the back of the audience. So, there was never any danger. And by the way, the bed of spikes was not attached to the rope that looked like we were.
Well, it's no magic trick. It just feels like, Judge's bad impression of making half your shit disappear when it comes to a divorce, where he's just like, I'm just gonna make stuff up, and here you go. You've done nothing for it, but here you are. Here is
now most magicians, most magicians tend to marry or get into people who are in the industry. Is that how you met your ex-wife, or?
No. In fact, I think that's a stereotype that's not accurate. Because the magician is the creative psycho one who has this need to be in front of people and do crazy stuff. And the wife is typically the balance, the yin to the yang, and not at all involved in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it attracts the wrong type of people, and then you get.
Very rarely. Lance Burton married Melinda, the first lady of magic, way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And Lance was really cool. He taught me how to work doves in my routine. But the marriage didn't stand. There are a lot of people who would tell you a lot of reasons why, but the fact of the matter is, two A-type personalities who are headliners at their own hotels in Vegas have a difficult relationship just by the very nature of their business.
That's crazy. That is crazy. You would figure they work out together in order to improve both of their acts to such a point where they're just coinciding together.
Some of them do, and there are some that are out there who are doing just exactly that these days.
Like for example, the best couple out there that I can bring up, that they've been doing it for decades long, and their relationship always seems strong as both husband and wife. Donnie and Marie Osmond. They've been.
Your brother and sister, Kevin.
I know, Sparky. It was an incest Mormon joke.
Boo.
If you have to explain it.
Oh, fuck you, boo. Oh, go ahead, boo your asses up. The hell with that. They don't look like they could be doing that. Give me a break, man.
Where are they? Kentucky? Come on, stop it.
Did you ever say, it doesn't. There are Kentucky parts of Utah. Don't let them trick you.
That's true. One last thing before we leave, Eric, is there a trick that you can show or kind of teach the folks at home to do? Maybe they're in a bar, maybe they're in a private setting, maybe they're in a group setting. Is there an easy trick that you can teach somebody over Zoom?
Yeah.
Even a mentalism trick.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We can try. I don't know. The code of the magician is to never reveal our secrets.
I know, but the masked magician has already ruined it.
How did he come up twice in this show? So here's just let me see. I'll show you here. Just a bunch of cards here. Let's do this. I'll take about half of the cards, and we'll put these guys this way, and we'll put these guys this way. So about half.
Now this is beginner's magic 101, something that somebody
just
can
grab
do.
A deck of cards. Doesn't matter what kind of cards you got. Just grab a deck of cards, turn half of them face up, and then just for kicks and giggles, let's go ahead and shuffle them together. So something like that. And can you see that they're actually interwoven? I'll show you this way so that you can actually see that the cards are interlaced, one inside the other. Half of them face up, half of them are face down. Yes. All right. And just to make it thorough, there's a technical term for this, by the way. We call it a mess. Half the cards face up, half the cards face down. Yes.
Beautiful.
All right, good. And let's do this. Kev, you've been so much fun. Let's if you were here, I would have you reach out and take it, but do me a favor if you would.
I like
please.
how Kevin's the one that's been so much fun.
Yeah. Colorful. One of these cards that you can see the values of, just call out. Can you see that?
Oh boy.
Let's see if I can turn the card so that
I see the King of Spades. That looks good.
King of Spades right there.
Yeah, right there.
So we're going to take that card and we're going to turn it face down. Tell me where you'd like me to insert that card.
Right at the beginning, if that's all right.
Over here?
All the way to your right hand.
To my right hand. Okay.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Right around there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm just going to put these together like this. And again, just so you know, I'm not messing around about mixing the cards face up, face down. They are literally face up, face down. Yes?
Yeah.
Cool. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you not to blink because this happens fast.
Okay.
It looks like this. Looks like.
Damn, that's crazy. Fuck, it's right.
For the non-viewing people out there that are listening to us at Spotify right now, and Spreaker. What Eric Reamer just did was he took every other card. One was face up, one was face down, and automatically right now all of the cards are face down except for the one that I picked out, the King of Spades, is the only one left face up. Now he's you know what? Out of 100% respect for the trick, don't even tell us how you did it.
Oh, I never was going to.
No,
good.
Damn.
Good.
There goes my idea for magic at home for dummies.
Magic at home.
Did I mention?
Look at that.
Wait, can you show the people how you do that trick?
The thumb just came right back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's detaching piece of his body. Well, Eric, these days people get a little offended. These days people get a little offended. They'd say, "You're mocking the leprosy people. How dare you shame the thumbless?"
Yeah.
There are Shriner kids that are crying right now, and you're just going willy-nilly with the fucking thing. People are. You know what the fucked up thing is? People are feeling offended for others, which you do in silence out of respect. If you're like, well, that's kind of messed up. You don't protest for something that doesn't directly affect you because it seems disingenuous all around.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I know, man. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's skipped
drugs. Hugs, not drugs.
I don't know if it skipped a generation or somebody didn't get the right talk, or maybe Mr. Rogers died too early. So that way he could just, that was a lesson that everybody learned. Don't be a jerk.
That's freaking insanity.
Bring back the good old days.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Eric, you are a gracious guest, sir. Thank you very much for your time, your magical expertise, your mentalism of the mystic arts. If people were to get in touch with you, sir, how would they do it?
There's two ways. If you want PR or help becoming a little more famous, reach out to me at prmediacoach.com. And if you want magic, dude, ericreamer.com, REAMER.com.
The website is magical.
Thank you so much. You guys have been fun, man. Thanks for letting me come on and hang out with you tonight.
Oh, you're amazing, sir. Amazing. Kudos to you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you guys were looking for us, where would you find us, Sparky? Just like magic.
If you wanted to send your hate mail to us, send it to us at the podguyspodcast@gmail.com. But if you actually want to find us, you can find us on Facebook Live, Google, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Geo Rio, Wise Radio Network, and most of your other major streaming platforms. But also, if you want to buy cool merch like this, go to merchbooth.com. It will be under the podcast section where you'll find thepodguys.com.
Goes to help. It goes to help the show. Also, make sure you hit the stars below. And all proceeds go to help us.
Nice.
Because we need that.
Yeah, we gotta say we're trying to come up with this Christmas gift for ourselves called staying indoors. Help!
trying not to spread
we're
anything.
This is This is a charity called Homeless Prevention, which is kind of like your rent, only it's our rent.
True.
Feels a lot like that.
Eric, thank you very much, sir. Of course, if you would like to plug anything, if you would like to post it on the Facebook website as well, you are more than welcome. Of course, we will post anything to our Facebook site. Check out ericreamer.com. Mentalist, illusionist, magician. He's a freaking wizard. He's a wizard. Thanks, you guys for watching. Make sure you share, like below, in and around there. Hit the star button. Even if it's $1 goes to help the show.
$1's great, yeah.
$1. Who the heck doesn't have $1? 4 quarters.
No, I told some lady I didn't have it today.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary.
Of course, the Le Picasso.
Spake.
Guys, thanks for watching the Podguyz podcast. Have a great night.